So I saw that a while ago, Small Ant of pencil sharpening fame had uploaded a video about speedrunning children's games as an adult. Now, when I read the title, I let out a little chuckle as I thought it said, speedrunning adult games I played as a child. As a child myself, I used to frequent Newgrounds for a lot of my gaming and somewhat questionable needs. I fondly remember the Meat and Fuck franchise being some of the most early exposures to pornography that I had. So I took a look around and there was not a single Vadam God masterpiece being speedrun on speedrun.com. On YouTube I couldn't find a single adult game speedrun video. I knew this was going to be my calling. This was going to be my gift. My curse. Who am I?
Shazam.
To begin with, we're going to look at Meat and Fuck Vacation, a 2008 submission by the one and only Vadam God, who has, to date, made 115 adult gems for you to peruse at your leisure, and indeed your pleasure. For any of those uninclined folks out there who have never dared venture into the deep dark void of the web, the Meat and Fuck series of games are very simple. Choose the correct responses out of the 3 or so you are given to gain the affection of a hot babe and be rewarded with some woohoo action. I know what you're thinking. Chaz, you're a fucking idiot. But I know what else you might be thinking. Are there any speedrunning strategies to be found within the smut of the internet? Well, if there are certainly none to be found within the cutscenes, as all are completely unskippable. One minor time save is that clicking the screen when you or the female you're conversing with is talking, the animation that spells out the response letter by letter skips, saving valuable seconds. Clicking the green arrow as soon as the response concludes is also essential in bringing that time down. Once the quite honestly fantastic plot has played out for a while, you begin playing a minigame. In Meat and Fuck Vacation, it's a massage minigame. In this minigame, you must fill the pleasure meter by massaging various parts of our body to win. Now, credit where credit is due, the game has clearly been created with gentlemen in mind. You can't just merely ram your fist up her arse and play her like a banjo, oh dear no. You must gradually choose more and more sensitive areas of her body for a gradual, more sensual experience for our fair lady here. Saving time here is simple. Choose the most optimal areas at each threshold efficiently and you will soon get the goods. In this case it goes upper arm, lower back, the back of her thigh, her breast, her bum, her inner thigh, and then her ham sandwich. Then it's time to click on the green arrow and move on to the next stage. After some short dialogue, it's time for the recorder playing minigame. In this game, it's essentially just clicking and waiting until it gives you the option for the difficulty of the recorder playing to level up. After the recital has concluded, a short back and forth, it's time for the finale of the section. The hot dog with buns that show on screen are only a repetition of the same click and wait minigame until baby gravy leaves the character's body and onto the lady's face. Some dialogue later and we get 3 options. We get to choose which position to continue. We have face up, face down defense position and special summon. Now, after some rigorous testing with the live split and only one hand, I discovered that the shortness of the doggy style come in ending animation seemed to be the only one which saved time due to the click and wait nature of all 3 options. I would just have to be careful as it was the option furthest away from the following start button that you have to press. You finish and you wake up the next morning feeling refreshed. Bon Jovi plays, and after some more dialogue, the sister wants in on the action. The same massage minigame ensues, but this time with a slight variance in body parts due to the new position. Upper arm, calf, thigh, fingering her belly, upper cheek, bottom cheek, single titty grab, double titty grab, ham sandwich and chocolate factory does the trick. Now with enhanced visuals, another click and wait adventure awaits. Seasick viewers may not appreciate the camera shake in this section, you have been warned. A few more scenes and then a very happy ending brings you to the end of the game and therefore the end of the run. I had a look at other later additions in the franchise, and while they had more options, it was yet again simply more memory. In 2009's Detective RPG, you had to make love to side characters, who gave you items to then make love to other characters, who gave you another item, and so on. The gameplay itself didn't have many time saves other than clicking the correct option every time and getting preemptive with the position of your mouse for efficient clicking. First person shooter elements were incorporated, but they posed no obstacle here. There are some time waster NPCs however, so please be careful out there. Some women just want one thing and it's pretty revolting. You talk to these babes in this order if you're interested. Bar girl, archive worker, personnel director for the ID card, back to the archive worker, tennis player for the bottle of water, beach lifeguard for the pearl, and then finally the exotic dancer for the big reveal. This was obviously the any percent route. More strategies and tissues may be necessary for those 100% runners out there. The plot twist in this game, however, was pretty insane. When you do find this guy's daughter through very scientific and investigatory means, you still just ram her. She's like the final boss, so the game wants you to take extra time with her. 4 sniper shots and you're out of there with a marriage. For 2010, I picked First Date Sex, but that sadly had the same range in gameplay. Noticing a pattern, I tried to search for weirder additions to the franchise. In 2011, the Magic Book was released. It starts off in a vaguely familiar setting with the dialogue, however, you play as a loser kid in a library who gets bonked by this magic book which can metamorph you and this Chad's girlfriend, creating scenarios in which you both seem to have the affliction to bone. This word combination minigame is definitely an outlier and creates new strategic needs. You must create 30 unique combinations of both male and female forms by selecting 2 different words on the respective pages of the book. Be careful not to be compelled to press the action button, however, as this will cost you valuable time and is indeed sinning. And for the love of God, don't press Incubus and Rahavart if you know what's good for you. Once the game allows, you close the book, turn to the antagonist, turn them into a ballet dancer, and walk off into the fade out with your new gal, who is totally not just with you because you can turn into a hung minotaur. Now, our god takes a break from submitting these creations onto Newgrounds until 2016, with Meet and Fuck Amazon Island 3. This addition to the franchise lures you into a false sense of security with surprisingly less impressive visuals, but the same old faithful text boxes. Have I accidentally opened an old entry into the franchise? You think to yourself. No, at least not to my knowledge, as this game has all new mechanics. This is the first game to have 0 dialogue choices. In the opening, you control a man fighting off a rival tribe of Amazon women with a club. Move the mouse to run, click to attack. The key here is to move promptly and to not over-click, as this will cause excess unnecessary attack animations to play, slowing you down crucial seconds. Something of note is that the enemies can't attack you when you're hitting them, and you can hit multiple enemies at once. So a top tip from me is to circle around so they're all on the same side and click the shit out of your mouse. You can't take too many hits and health pickups are seldom, so be careful with how many are on opposing sides. During the minigame, you get progressively stronger weaponry as well as face progressively stronger enemies, which creates a great sense of ascension into the final boss. Once the milk truck has been defeated, you get a choice. I'm sure we all know where this is going. These scenes were completely absent of voice acting, which hampered the gaming experience overall. However, the addition to new gameplay is always welcomed. For the largest madam, you must balance both losing oxygen and gaining pleasure optimally to get the fastest time, during the motorboat section of course. If you completely run out of oxygen, your pleasure decreases. The manual option later in the scene is also a nice stylistic choice, but will have to be ignored for the run. The rest, however, is much of the same threshold click and wait we have grown to know and love. The animation in these scenes has also improved dramatically over the years, as much as the shading had to have been lost in the process. Once all 4 captured dames have been dominated, the game ends. This is the first addition into the franchise we have came across to have actual time saves due to skill-based gameplay. Quite simply remarkable. You may ask then, what's the strategy? I brought the oxygen meter all the way down to the bottom and let it ride up to the letter N. Click 3 times and repeat. It seems to be the best balance of both time waiting for it to recharge and time spent clicking. We jump ahead to 2020 with Meet and Fuck Christmas Pay Rise 7, where they have taken artistic liberties with the continue button on the text dialogues. The game starts with you, an erect yeti, chasing a big-breasted, nearly nude Mrs. Claus attempting to outrun you. You're timed with a stamina bar, indicated on your right, and must reach her in time by clicking the positive energy pickups to increase your speed, indicated on the left, and not clicking on the negative energy pickups which will slow you down. Now, once you've caught her, there's yet another click and wait minigame. However, this time there's dialogue in between levels that you must traverse. This creates a way more stressful gameplay experience and a slightly harder run to pull off. Now, in the first scene, when the pleasure bar stops moving, it is paramount that you click the stop under the mouth option to trigger the next dialogue. There's no prompt to do this, but is essential for progression. I found this out the hard way. This is also the first combination of fluid animation as well as shading. Excellent work there. Once the scenes have concluded, you get a choice of ending. The extreme ending is by far the shortest, however the happy ending does have a interesting twist. And that's the game, probably the funnest speedrun out of any we've had so far. Now we conclude with a 2021 entry. Yep, still makes them. Meet and Fuck Superheroine Hijinks 4, The Fall of Mighty Mom. The first minigame we encounter here is Mighty Mom versus Rod Crazy Chase, where you open the door where Rod is running towards, but close the door where Mighty Mom is heading towards, so she runs into it and loses stamina. Rinse and repeat until she's out of stamina. This was like an actual game. I actually had fun playing it, which was bizarre. As much as it's just a Scooby-Doo ripoff. Perfection is the only time safe here. The scene after she is caught gives you options to pull on some strings to pull her fun bags or fly swat her tuchus. Spank and yank away until the meter fills and the game allows you to continue. And more click and wait gameplay for the finish. Let's just not pay attention to the plot in this one. I really feel that we've been on a journey together. In speedrunning, boobs, and an artistic expression. These games got gradually upgraded in terms of both gameplay and animation and speedrunnability. I hope this video serves as an educational piece on the Meet and Fuck franchise, and indeed, how to speedrun it. A celebration, if you will. Anyway, thank you for watching.